The thing is, it's going to seem dramatic and maybe unnecessary, but there are just some things that we do when we show off the LX600. Now, this is an F Sport, and it's absolutely fantastic. And I just want to tell you about why it's so cool. You know, we've never offered an F Sport in the LX600. There was a Sport package previously, but for 22, they did an actual F Sport. For us, there's an F car, an F Sport, and then there's a luxury trim. The F Sport is a luxury trim, but with some great sport elements. And, you know, for years, the spindle grille, and this wears one of the best looking spindle grills, has been a really great design element of Lexus. And it's funny, a lot of people call it a honeycomb or a mesh grill. It's not. It's actually the Lexus emblem. You can see, you know, there's 100 or 200 Lexus emblems. It's called L Finesse, but those are all Lexus emblems in that grill. And it was meant to be artsy, yet edgy or modern styling, and I think they achieved it really well. On the front of this truck, you'll see the L Finesse worked out throughout the design of this truck. The triple beams look great, so that's the 3 headlights on either side. Fantastic lighting, there's fog lights in the bottom. But again, as we go through, you're going to see the L Finesse look all the way through this car. I really like this. I just have to point this out. This kind of darker chrome is just one of those attentions to detail that Lexus is so good at, versus a big, bright, shiny chrome on the F Sport. You get the nice kind of muted look to the grille in terms of the trim. I think it's fantastic. But we're talking about sonar sensors. There's sonar sensors that are along the front of it. Our sensors not only beep, they also hit the brake pedal before you bang into something. So it'll beep, 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 and then again, if you continue on, it'll hit the brakes. There's a little front camera that's hiding there. Behind the Lexus emblem, there's a millimeter wave radar. That's for the adaptive cruise and the pre-collision. There's also a camera up top at the mirror that's looking at us. That's for the lane departure, and the car will steer. It's for the auto high beam, so it's for a ton of safety features. This truck looks great. Bringing the rest of the LX600 and F Sport items into queue here. The black wheels are because it's an F Sport, and they work really nicely with the grille. On the inside, let me grab the door handle. Power mirrors come back out, so they'll fold in when you lock. They'll come back out when you unlock. Let's get a wide look at this truck, because it is pretty. On the inside, talking about F Sport. F Sport is where we get our aluminum trim look on the door panels. And you'll see the Mark Levinson speaker here. All LXs have Mark Levinson. This is like a 25 speaker stereo. It's an absolute fantastic sounding truck. But great design on the door. Aluminum because it's an F Sport. A little bit more bolster than you'd have on a luxury. So a luxury wouldn't have as much bolster on the seat. This has a bit more. The bolster just means that it's going to hold you a bit more firm in the seat. But it's not offensive. It's not tight. It feels really good. F Sport logo on the headrests. White stitching and F Sport look on the steering wheel. And again, that aluminum look is kind of worked all the way through the truck. I want to take you to the back before I take you all the way on the inside. This is a whole new thing. Look at the design right there. It just makes it look like it's moving even when it's not. This is new. This is the Blade taillight, and we've replaced the Lexus logo with the word Lexus on the back of it, which is a really nice modern look. At night, the truck looks great. You've got this guy illuminated as a kind of as a tail light. You'll see the L Finesse and the tail lights out back. LED turn signals and reverse lights in the back of it. It really, really looks nice. Rear spoiler, obviously. Just gonna give you a look on the side here. Let me show you the back. So you just reach underneath. Pops open. Now, this is a big change from our previous LX. The third row finally folds flat into the floor. So formerly our seats were up to the side. This is so much better. The third row is power folding, so let me pop up the right seat. You have to hold the button so that, you know, brother doesn't crush his other brother when he's in the seat, and push the button down. But hold the seat, and then I'm gonna give you a look at what kind of cargo we have behind it. So legroom, excuse me. And we're gonna load from the side. We'll show you that. And while we're here, 40, 20, 40, so longer things. Here in Wisconsin, be hockey sticks can go through. But here we still have a bit of cargo space, not bad. And we'll take it to the second row. There is a kick sensor in that lift gate, so if you have the key in your pocket and you swing your foot, that lift gate will close, or open for that matter. So here in the second row, there is reasonable leg room. the seat is straight up and down. There's a handle to pull, to recline, and to fold, flat, and flip. You saw that was one motion. I'm going to just step back here. So into the third row, step, step, and we're in. Not bad. Seats are up. Now that seat's in the straight up and down. It's not reclined like this guy is, but still I have useful legroom back here. Should be able to pull this handle and get myself back out. That was pretty easy, actually. While we're here, let's take a look at the front really quick. And I'm going to just reach up, try and get that turned on. Now, our nav is new, and our nav is glorious. But you have Apple CarPlay, and Apple CarPlay is wireless. If you decide to live in the Lexus environment, it's a subscription nav. You'll have 3 years of it. And it responds to the command, hey Lexus. And you can say, hey Lexus, you know, set this trip to this, that, or the other thing. There's other commands, like you can tell it to set the temperature for you, but the trigger word is hey Lexus. Otherwise, if you're Apple CarPlay user, you would connect wirelessly. There's a really handy charger right here, so you'd wirelessly connect, set your phone down, and then everything is going to be done with hey SIRI. And you know, Apple CarPlay on the navigation screen looks great. It's a 12.3-inch screen, so everything up top will be related to nav, backup cameras, and audio. Everything on the bottom is basically related to off-road, but more useful. It's going to be climate control. I do want to point out, there's some buttons here for raising and lowering the truck's air ride, locking the differential, and using the park and brake. But the reality of it is, none of this matters, because if you need them, you press them. If you don't need them, you truly ignore them. And Lexus is so good at giving you actual buttons and things to use. Now, these guys here this is for the four-wheel drive, and this is for the off-road, say, modes, right? Crawl control and different driving terrains. If you never use them, it doesn't really matter. You're going to spend the majority of your time in 2 spots. Climate control, and it's very simple. Auto is on and controls the fan speed and the vents. And we've got a concierge feature where when we set these to auto, the truck will automatically control the heating and cooling of the steering wheel, and the heating of the steering wheel, the heating and cool of the seats, based on what you set for temperature up here. So you never have to fart around and try and figure out where your seats are at. Just leave those on auto with the concierge system on, and it's right here. And every single thing will match the temperature that you set for your climate. So the real key here is that setting makes everything very, very simple to operate. Okay. Back up top, I just want to point out we have an actual volume knob. So while you can control volume on the steering wheel, you can also just reach up and turn a knob. And that's always been Lexus hallmark, to make things simple to operate. Coming back to the driver's seat, beautiful steering wheel. There are some paddle shifters. You can ignore them. They're useful for downshifting if you're driving in snow or going down a long grade, or you want to drive like a maniac. That's great. But on the daily, you literally start this truck and drive it and it goes. There is a heads-up display that's going to project your current speed. All the safety systems, the lane departure and pre-collision will be showing up there. We will project the speed limit signs that the truck reads and displays. We'll put those on the steering wheel for you, on the windshield for you as well. So there's a lot of information up top. Use it. If you don't like it, you turn it off. But I think you'll really like it. It's a great full color heads-up display. It's fantastic. On the left side, headlights are fully automatic as you'd expect. On the right side, wipers are fully automatic as you'd expect. And really, on the steering wheel, left side, if we look at the square, that's going to control the trip computer up top, volume for the radio, the talk switch to talk to the system if you set it that way. Otherwise, it will just simply listen for the trigger, which is hey Lexus or hey SIRI. And then over here, we just simply set our cruise and our following distance. So that's all that we're going to do right here. Mode is for the modes of the radio, AM, FM, satellite, Bluetooth, and volume, station presets here. One note on that, if you like to use, if you're going to use the onboard Wi-Fi and actually pay for that subscription, Apple Music and Amazon Music are actually built into the truck. And so what that means is your Apple and Amazon Music are built into the sense that you don't need your phone to connect to stream music. It'll stream it over the LTE connection for the truck. That is a paid service, but if you use it, it's pretty cool. I just want to show you really quick heated seats, ventilated seats in the second row. That's the outboard seats, and then obviously climate control for the rear zone as well. Window sunshades, LED illumination. The color is fully customizable, so you can leave it white, you can turn it red, you can do whatever you want with it. Beautiful door handles, and you can kind of see the Alpha and the F sort of logo built into that. Fantastic Mark Levinson stereos, the reference, which is why it's so good. It's a nice truck. And I tell you, as big as it is, it literally drives like a sedan. The steering is light, the truck is athletic. It doesn't feel and drive like a gigantic machine. It's just fantastic. Sorry for the noise. What noise? So we're talking about here just briefly, we would set up, you would just go through the initial setup on the safety systems, and then once you've got it all set, you just literally ignore it. You wouldn't need to do anything else with this. Show you the 360 cameras quick, because it's a bit of a bigger truck. It does drive like a small truck, but this gives you a good look around if you're not sure how close you are to a pole, if you're not sure about what's around you, whether it's for security or if it's where's the dog. That little 360 image is pretty slick. And the other thing we can do is take a look at the backup camera and obviously the 360 cameras. Lexus is pretty cool. If you watch this, we decided to not just leave the vehicle, but we can actually show. We're just stitching the cameras together. We're showing you what's actually underneath the truck. So I'm in reverse, and it's actually showing you the parking lot and so forth. The other setting, because I'm just going to show you as I look over the hood of this thing, right? It's awfully big, but we've got a forward camera that will turn on and stay on. There's just an auto setting right here. So if we hit auto, this will come on and stay on once we go to speeds of less than, say, 7 miles per hour. So the forward camera is on as I drive up to this big old thing. Like, you'll see it right there. And so the sonar sensors are on. It's telling me not to hit anything. You see all the sensors are picking it up. And again, that forward camera is on, which is really nice. So they did a really nice job making this truck easy to drive. It's light, it's maneuverable, it's great. And let me show you how cool the headlights are. Really just the daytime running lights. This is the Alpha S in our running lights, and it is glorious. I mean, how cool is that? I know what you're thinking. That's so cool, I gotta have it. I don't blame you. I hope you like it. Let me know. Stay out of trouble. See you later.